The shocking plot twist at my best friend's bridal shower. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. The card under the ribbon says his wife's name, not Cassie's. I'm halfway through him seeing the "How well do you know the bride?" game when the words land like a glass shatter. To Dylan, love, M. The last letter curls into a heart, the handwriting practiced, intimate. My voice catches. Priya at the mimosa bar lifts her brow. I'm Harper, maid of honor, logistics mule, the one who color-coded this entire pink and pearl afternoon. I built the photo wall, wrangled RSVPs, confirmed gluten-free cupcakes twice. I would throw myself between Cassie and a runaway dessert cart. But I'm staring at a gift tag that doesn't belong to us, and the room suddenly feels too warm, like the rental heaters forgot to stop. Harper? Cassie calls from the chair with the satin sash, laughing, radiant, ready for the next prompt. The aunts dab their eyes. Dylan isn't here. Today's a girls-only event, but every game mentions him like a charm bracelet, everywhere and heavy. Just a sec, I say, palming the card into my pocket, smiling too hard for the photographer. I think of the phone drop box I set up to keep people present. I think of the registry I rechecked until midnight. I think of loyalty like a silk thread between us. Then the florist's assistant sneaks in, breathless, asking for the final payment envelope. I feel that thread pull, thin, dangerous. I tuck the tag deeper into my dress pocket as Cassie watches me breathe. Cassie's smile wobbles as she mouths, very clearly, "What did you find?" We grew up 2 blocks apart, sharing bike chains and secrets. In college, we learned to fold fitted sheets and our boundaries, not always in that order. Cassie was the first to call me captain because I could steer chaos into a plan. I called her Spark because she could make strangers root for her within minutes. When Dylan arrived, late-night trivia, a ridiculous grin. He felt like a puzzle piece we'd been saving. "He makes me feel chosen," she whispered in my dorm stairwell, mascara dots on my hoodie. I believed her. I wanted it to be true. Lately, though, the way she managed me felt managerial. "Harper, the photos need more fairy lights." "Harper, my mom thinks the favors look cheap." "Harper, can you smooth the seating because Dylan's cousin can't sit near his ex?" Then there was last week's thing with the bakery. I pulled strings for a rush redo after someone accidentally changed the frosting monogram to a C&D intertwined that looked like a logo, not initials. "Don't be dramatic," Cassie said when I asked who requested it. "It's on trend." Her mother smiled politely through me, the way you smile through a glass door you won't open. I told myself not to take it personally. Not everything needs meaning. But meaning keeps barging in, like that gift tag that breathes in my pocket. "Harper," Cassie says now, softer, only for me. "You're my anchor. Don't make waves today." I nod, and then the florist's assistant whispers, "Your groom's check just bounced." We built the registry on my couch with wine and gleeful pettiness, skipped the gilded pasta machine, add the everyday brazier she'll actually use. Still, last night a set of high-end luggage appeared, double price, wrong model, shipped to an address I didn't recognize. Gifted directly, Cassie texted with a heart. But the order history showed Dylan's employee discount applied, then removed. The envelope for the florist sits where I left it, labeled and sealed. When I peel it back in the hallway, the cashier's check has a matching note. For Dylan and M. The same hand as the gift tag. I feel my cheeks burn. I walk back past the photo backdrop. Peonies, a neon miss to misses. The art of pretending joy in front of a rented sign. Aunties play a game about who said, "I love you" first. Everyone screams Dylan because his speeches are a sport. "You're overthinking," I tell myself, smoothing the envelope, resealing it with tape. People mislabel things. People have bad handwriting. Then I set out to share your advice, cards, and C2 sets pre-filled in different pens, but the same slanted R. Marry your best friend, D. Marriage is a business, D. Priya glides to my side, brush of grapefruit perfume. "Breathe," she says. "You're scanning like you're on night shift." I shrug like none of this matters. Over the speakers, a playlist Dylan made cheerfully insists we are young forever. I press the envelope against my palm until the paper softens around my pulse. A number with no name flashes across my screen. "Call me about your fiancé." I duck into the kitchen staging area, where steam fogs the windows and the caterer curses softly at a tray of crab cakes. Harper, she asks. Someone's asking for the card box key. We don't have a key. It's a clear acrylic cube with a slit, showcase security. If they're nervous, tell them to keep their envelope. I say, then call the unknown number back. A woman answers, voice calm in that burned-out way people get after a long season of bad surprises. Is this Harper? Maid of honor Harper? Yes. Amara, she says. I saw the registry charges tied to my account. The word my makes the floor tilt. Dylan's ex? I ask, though my mouth already knows the shape of the answer. His wife, she says, not dramatic, just factual. In the same second, the restaurant manager appears with a thin-faced man in a blazer, process server eyes, asking to speak to the bride's representative. I stall him with a tray of favors, my heartbeat like a spoon in a garbage disposal. It's handled. Cassie sings as she peers in, too bright. Just a vendor thing. She closes the door before I can say wife. On the phone, Mara exhales. Look, I don't want drama. I want my credit cleaned and the joint bank closed. Joint bank. I echo, watching the server hand me an envelope stamped with a county seal. He's still withdrawing at night, Mara says. Same merchant names, same timing. The seal scrapes my palm as I turn the envelope over and see Dylan's name. I open the envelope and see a subpoena addressed to Cassie's parents. Back in the room, I act like I don't know anything. That is loyalty's first trick, pretending you can hold someone's happiness without looking at the weight. Speech time. I shout, and the ants obey. Cassie squeezes my hand, grateful. Her eyes say later. To the girl who held my hair and my secrets, an old roommate says into the mic, and always paid her half even when I didn't. Laughter washes everything gold for a minute. When it ebbs, Priya finds me at the punch bowl. What's wrong? Not a question. Vendor mix-up, I lie. And a weird call. From a woman, I say, and my throat closes around the truth. Priya's jaw tightens. Across the room, Dylan's sister, who RSVP'd no, slips in with sunglasses, scans the crowd, then leaves. I'll handle it, Cassie's mother says when I mention the server. He will not ruin our day. He's not ruining anything. I say, gentler than I feel. The process server waits by the host stand, patient, inevitable. I picture Cassie's face if this explodes here, under a canopy of silk roses. Harper, Priya says, her eyes steady. Don't carry this alone. I promised her a perfect day, I whisper. Then give her the truth, or give her a bubble, she says. Pick one. In the mirror behind the bar, I watch myself choose a bubble I don't believe in. And then Dylan texts me. Need to talk before someone lies to her. Why are you texting me? I tap back, sliding into the hallway lined with framed wine labels and someone's family dog. Because I know you run point, Dylan replies. I need 5 minutes. He adds a thumbs up. I imagine crushing it under my heel. I scroll further up our history. Neat, logistical, harmless, until a transfer request pings my banking app. $987 to M. Consulting, a name I've never seen, initiated by our group honeymoon fund. I screenshot it, palms damp. On the gift table sits a second seating chart board I didn't print, initials in a foreign font, Cassandra plus Daniel. Who's Daniel? I ask Priya, holding it up. She blinks. Spell check for Dylan? Spell check doesn't change human beings, I say. In the kitchen, 2 servers whisper, did you hear? The groom's already married. My chest hollows, sound turns to cotton. I should shut this down, I murmur. But Cassie appears at my shoulder, breathless with joy or fear. Don't, she says. Harper, everyone's here. We'll fix the paperwork later. Paperwork. The word clangs. Is there paperwork to fix? It's complicated, she says, eyes glassy. Don't make me look stupid today. My heart climbs into my mouth. She's either protecting herself or protecting him. Both are fatal in different ways. 5 minutes, Dylan texts again. Back door. I pocket the second chart and head for the chili service exit with shaking hands. Outside, a woman steps from a rideshare and says, I'm Mara, don't scream. Mara is tall, tired, and done apologizing to strangers. She hands me a manila folder like a peace offering. Inside, joint bank statements with a midnight rhythm, withdrawals at barbacks and boutique luggage stores, wire transfers to M. Consulting, and a Reno hotel I've never heard of. He told me you're handling the finances, she says. So handle this. We're not. I start, then stop because what are we if not a committee for Cassie's life? He said the divorce was near final, Mara adds. He says that whenever rent is due. Her voice doesn't break, which is somehow worse. I flipped to timestamps. 2 nights Dylan allegedly worked late at the dealership match charges in another state. That weekend he posted the family dinner boomerang. I say no. My kitchen, Mara replies. He brought steaks. The door bangs. Priya appears like a tether. I knew you'd slip out, she says, and studies Mara with a single, sweeping look that files everything. We need copies, she tells me. We need to verify. I have originals, Mara says. And a voicemail where he says he'll fix the credit cards before the wedding photographs go public. I imagine Cassie's parents, who paid the venue deposit with a home equity line that still shimmers with pride. Priya touches my elbow. You can still choose the bubble, she murmurs. Or choose Cassie, really choose her. From inside, the DJ calls for the toast. I hear Cassie's laugh wobble like glass. Dylan's shadow fills the doorway as he says, You shouldn't have met her. Back inside, Dylan says, low and practiced, like he's de-escalating a customer complaint. You're upsetting Cassie. We're clarifying timelines. Priya replies, cool. He looks at Mara and doesn't flinch, which tells me this isn't the first unexpected rendezvous. The what is clear, I say, fanning the statements. You're married. You're moving money. You're lying to both of them. The why is none of your business, he snaps, then softens. Harper, you of all people know what it costs to keep up. He lists pressures, Cassie's dream venue, the imported florals, the filtered life they've promised the internet. It's noise, he says. We need runway, then I'll land it. With whose money? I ask. He swallows. Investors, he says, which here means Mara's credit and Cassie's parents' line. The stakes punch through me. If this keeps spiraling, Cassie could lose more than pride. She could lose her home before she moves into it. We're going to fix it privately, he says. No one needs a scene. Behind him, the server with the county envelope hovers, scenting drama. Priya's eyes meet mine. I hear her without words. This is bigger than awkward. This is harm. I pocket my trembling and make a decision. Then tell her now, I say, or I will in front of everyone you invited. Dylan smiles thinly and says, try it, and I'll bury you in NDAs. I move like a medic in a crowded hallway. Triage, treatment, transport. Priya texts lawyer Chun, who owes her a favor from a tenant case. Mara airdrops the statements to my locked folder. I screenshot the transfers, the timestamps, the hotel folios. I press record on my voice memo and ask Dylan to repeat himself. He obliges. We'll fix it later. Nobody needs to know. And the room's clatter catches the tone perfectly. I tuck the subpoena into the napkin stack on the head table. We reveal during the advice to the bride game. I tell Priya, breath short. It's structured. People will be listening. You're sure about public? She asks. No. Yes. Cassie deserves to know before she signs anything else, before their parents wire another gift. We'll invite Lena. I catch myself. Wrong story, wrong man. We'll invite Cassie's mother to stand with her. I say. Priya nods. If he flips it on you, she adds, read the Reno line first. Copy. I squeeze Mara's hand. Do you need to be here for this? I need to be free, she says, and leaves through the kitchen, shoulders squaring only after the door swings shut. I grab the mic with fingers that won't obey. Advice cards in 5. I call, and the room claps like we're all in the same movie. I look at Cassie and imagine her future detonating in my hands. She mouths, thank you. And I hate that it feels like goodbye. Dylan corners me near the balloons, where the light is flattering and unkind. You'll ruin her, he says, soft enough to pass as care. She'll blame you. She'll blame you, I answer. I can take Cassie's anger. Can you take a witness stand? He laughs, not because it's funny, but because we're performing adulthood. You don't know the whole picture, he murmurs. She does? I lie, watching his pupils widen. Cassie approaches, carrying a flute of champagne and a cracked smile. No drama today, she begs, voice trembling. Please, Harper. I can't. My mom will. Her sentence collapses. The sentence I'm about to hand her is worse. If you want me to be your friend, I say, you have to let me keep you safe. From love? She asks, brittle. From lawsuits. Priya says, appearing like a tide, and passes me the mic. Lawyer Chin's text pings. Keep it factual, no embellishment, cite sources, do not accuse. Present. The DJ is ready, Priya whispers. If we're doing this, do it now. Dylan drifts toward the exit, recalculating. The manager clears his throat. We're on a schedule. So are we. I take center with the cards and try to keep my hands steady, because shaking signals guilt even when you're telling the truth. The room hushes, and my voice comes out calm like I practiced it in dreams. I need to start with a correction before we give advice. Traditionally, I say, we write to the bride about love and laundry. Today, we're writing about legal names. Nervous laughter. I hold up the second seating chart, the one with Cassandra plus Daniel. Cute mistake, I say. Except Daniel is a real person, and so is Mara. A murmur ripples the tables. Names have gravity. I lift the envelope with the county seal. A process server asked for the bride's representative, I say. He has court documents for Dylan regarding existing obligations. Existing obligations lands like thunder. Cassie's mother rises, jaw set. Is this necessary? She asks. More than the imported roses, I say. And quicker to wilt. I tap the mic against my palm, steadying. Here are transaction records from a joint account ending in 4129. I continue, reading dates and amounts. $987 to M. Consulting, $1,204 at Reno Grande. $2,750 wire to Luggage Boutique. I speak carefully, making no leaps, handing the room only what exists. Dylan reappears, face smoothed into charm. Babe, he calls. Harper's confused. I'm reading, I say, and play the voice memo. His own voice suggesting secrecy before the wedding photographs go public. Lawyer Chin's caller ID flashes. I put him on speaker. Good afternoon, he says. This is a general reminder that knowingly misrepresenting marital status on contracts can carry penalties. Cassie's knuckles whiten around her champagne flute as the DJ fumbles the volume. Dylan, she says evenly. What should I Google while everyone is watching? Google Clark County marriage records, Dylan says, panicked confidence cracking. It's not what it looks like. Spell the name. Cassie replies, voice flat as a hospital hallway. He hesitates, and that's the answer. Priya hands her phone to Cassie's mother. Within seconds the record is there, brisk and merciless. Dylan Alexander Rowan married to Mara Lynn Rowan, status active. The room inhales as one organism. It's complicated, Dylan stammers, like a kid rehearsing lines he doesn't understand. We live apart, it's financial. Financial like my parents' home equity? Cassie asks, holding up the subpoena with shaking poise. Financial like the florist's bounce check? I advance the slideshow I never planned to show. Screenshots of transfers. The timestamp overlay with Dylan's family dinner boomerang. The Reno folio with a date he claimed to be at a charity gala. Stop this, he says, reaching for the laptop, but Priya blocks him with a look that could slice rope. Please don't touch the equipment, the manager adds, deadpan. We have a deposit. Lawyer Chin's voice returns. Ms. Harper, you have met the standard for presenting corroborated facts. Ms. Cassie, do not sign anything else today. The word today lands like a gavel. Dylan looks smaller than I believed he could. Cassie exhales, tears streaking tracks through her perfect contour, and sets down her glass. Mom, she says calmly, call the bank and freeze the wedding account. The room breaks into flurries. Some guests gather their purses like shields. Others hover, hungry for a post worth posting. Cassie's mother moves with frightening efficiency, phone on speaker as she navigates hold music and fury. We authorized, she says tightly. A vendor line only. Freeze all disbursements, Lawyer Chin instructs. The florist assistant peeks in. I hand her cash from the emergency fund I keep for runaway dessert carts and days like this. We'll make it right, I tell her, and she nods, eyes huge. Dylan's sister returns without the sunglasses, face pale. He told me it was over, she whispers, not defending him so much as begging herself to believe it once more. Dylan tries to rally his charm. We can fix this, he says, to no one and everyone. We'll elope, babe, we'll. Cassie flinches. Don't call me babe. The process server finally gets a word in. Mr. Rowan? He asks, and Dylan's shoulders collapse a fraction as he takes the envelope. People start leaving, slow, stunned, guilty for wanting popcorn. I avoid my reflection in the neon sign. I look like someone who pulled a fire alarm. You did the right thing, Priya says, catching me as I sway. Right doesn't feel good, I answer. It often doesn't, she says, squeezing my hand. By sunset, deposits are frozen, the venue manager is kind, and a dinner that was supposed to be celebratory becomes triage with bread baskets. Cassie sits beside me and doesn't speak for a long time. Finally, she says, "Come to dinner, please. He's coming, and I need you." The restaurant is quieter now, the party stripped down to the people who don't run from messes. Cassie's mascara is gone. Her voice returns in careful pieces. "I should have listened when he wouldn't let me see his tax returns," she says. "When he called marriage a business." "Businesses have audits," Priya murmurs. "Friends too. We draft terms on a napkin like a treaty." Cassie will pause all wedding-related spending. She'll see a therapist with me on Tuesday. She'll ask her parents to route all financial help through a separate account with dual approval. She will not meet Dylan alone, and any closure conversation happens in a public place with a witness. "I hate this," she says. "I hate needing rules to stay safe." "Safety is boring," Priya says gently. "Boring is good." Lawyer Chin texts a template for a cease and desist if Dylan tries to touch the registry funds again. We write it out like homework, Cassie signing with a hand that trembles but doesn't falter. Dylan arrives late, eyes ringed with that sudden piety men wear when they are losing an audience. "Just us," he pleads, gesturing to the patio. "No," Cassie says. "In writing or not at all." He looks at me like I burned his house instead of saved her from a fire. "You're finished," he hisses. "With me," Cassie says, steady as a door closing. She slides her ring across the table and doesn't watch where it goes. Outside, tires squeal, and someone shouts Dylan's name like warning, not welcome. By morning, the shower looks like a dream we packed into bins: wilted peonies, deflated balloons, glitter that pretends to be forever. Cassie sleeps on my couch, breathing in little hiccups that sound like a metronome learning a new song. Priya texts a grocery list: soup, ginger ale, soft bread, more tissues than we think. We spend the day calling vendors to unwind a future like a sweater. Tug gently, don't break the yarn. Mara sends confirmation that the joint account is finally closed. Her last message reads, "I hope you both get clean air." I think about loyalty, a word that sometimes means silence, sometimes means speech, and yesterday it meant a microphone. I used to believe friendship was bright, uncomplicated devotion. Now I think it's a steady light you adjust so the people you love can actually see. If you're planning a wedding, ask for the boring documents. If someone uses confusion like camouflage, stop and name the shapes. Keep screenshots. Verify deposits. Put help in writing. Don't be afraid to be the person who says, pause. That word can save a life you still want. Later, Cassie and I sit on the fire escape with tea, the city coughing up its evening gold. "Thank you," she says, voice small, real, "for ruining my perfect day and saving my real one." I laugh, and it doesn't feel cruel.